Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully this is working. We'll get started in a few minutes. Thanks for those who are waiting. It's about 10:24. We'll give it a few more minutes for a few more people to join in, and then we'll get things started. Testing. This is working. Get started in a few minutes. Thanks for those who are waiting. It's about 10:24. We'll give it a few more minutes for a few more people to join in, and we'll get things started. All right, it's 10:25. I'll give it about 2 more minutes for anybody else who wants to join in, and we'll get started. Thanks for your patience, everyone. Again, for those waiting for this to start, let's give it another minute or two, and then we will start talking about the weather. Thanks for your patience. I know there was some confusion on Facebook as to when this was starting. I apologize for not communicating that a little more clearly, but 10:30 is what we're aiming for, and I see my viewer count is ticking up, so more and more people are joining in. Again, just a minute or two, and then we'll start things up. All right, we're getting close to 10:30. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. This is the first time we're going to try this. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I stay connected and there's not too much choppiness, and hopefully everyone out there has a good connection as well. And if this goes well, we get some engagement. If everybody seems to like it, maybe we'll do more of these types of kind of live streaming, kind of off-the-cuff broadcasts in big weather events. I may even try another one this evening from the studio. I'll be working this afternoon and this evening, so we'll just see how this goes. We're coming up on 10:30, and our snowstorm is still on track for tonight after midnight, and then heading into tomorrow. So if you have evening plans tonight, you're going to be just fine. The roads will not be a problem at all. It'll just be doing nothing at all, just cloudy this evening, and then things are going to start to ramp up overnight. And this is going to be a storm that I would kind of put it in the moderate category as far as snowstorms go here in eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania. It'll probably fall a little bit short of the storm we had just before Thanksgiving, where a lot of us got 8, 9, 10 inches of snow. I don't think we're going to see quite that much, but it'll be a little more, or even a few inches more than the one we just had late last week. What was that, Friday evening? We've had so much snow, it seems like, lately that I'm starting to get the the storm's confused. All right, 10:30 here, so we're going to officially get things started. Thanks so much for joining in. I'm going to show you some of the latest information we have on our snowstorm threat and tell you about our predictions overall and kind of the timeline that we expect to transpire here. First thing I'll show you is what's going on right now, because we want to look at what's going on right now to determine what's going to happen as we go into the future. And here's a look at a map showing the current temperatures, the current radar, and the current satellite. Now, some of the whites you see in through here, that's not actually cloud cover, that's snow on the ground in parts of Indiana, Ohio, of course, and into western PA. We've still got a little skiff of snow on the ground around most of greater Youngstown, but we're certainly going to be adding to that before all is said and done. Here's the beginnings of our storm. It's kind of weak right now. Let me put on the pressure analysis, and you can see our low pressure system is where this kind of oval or circle shape is back here. Got a warm front in through here, and this is the beginnings of our storm that's going to head north and east. And so we've got some rain breaking out in Kansas and Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri. It's even freezing rain and sleet in some parts of Missouri right now. But all is quiet in eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania. Still some lake effect going on. Boy, have they got pummeled lately up in New York. This is south of Buffalo right now, and then this is up here, downwind of Lake Ontario, where some places have had 3 or 4 feet worth of snow. So this is all lake effect up here. This is unrelated to what is coming our way for tonight and tomorrow. So that's the current information. Let me take off all the current information. We'll bring up a computer model here. It'll tell us what the radar will look like as we go through time. Let me actually let me back things up, and we'll start with about midnight tonight. Here at midnight, there may be some light snow trying to break out across parts of eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania as well, but it's going to be really, really light at first, about midnight tonight. The heavier stuff's going to be out through here at midnight, maybe just north of Indianapolis, heading down towards Cincy. There could be some mixing going on down towards the Ohio River at this point, but no matter what type of precipitation is falling at midnight tonight, it's going to be heaviest well off to the west. Now, zoom ahead to 7 a.m. tomorrow. This is when our storm is going to start to try to ramp up a little bit. Notice the future radar here is still not terribly impressive. In Cleveland, Youngstown, Pittsburgh, let me zoom in a little bit here. Here, of course, is Youngstown and through here. It's kind of blotchy looking. It's kind of light looking. So this is at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you need to do some traveling tomorrow, I would recommend trying to get it out of the way earlier in the day. The earlier the better, because conditions will probably progressively go downhill as we head through the day. And so that's what the radar should look like at about 7 a.m. Here's 10 a.m. And you'll notice some of the darker greens are starting to show up back towards I-71, right in through here. And so I think, kind of the meat of our snowstorm is really going to be getting going in western Ohio by midday or even mid-morning. And then starting midday or early afternoon, this heavier bout of snow will start to push east. Here we are at 1 in the afternoon, and around greater Youngstown tomorrow, some darker greens starting to show up, and this is when we're starting to get into the real teeth of this storm, with the possibility of road conditions, kind of going downhill in a hurry. So that's the way the radar will progress during the first half of the day tomorrow, and then as we get deeper into the afternoon, I do expect that conditions will continue to kind of go downhill. Let me show you a few other things here. This is the National Weather Service, let's see, here we go. National Weather Service odds. They put odds on these things. Odds of at least 4 inches worth of snow from tomorrow through tomorrow night. And where you see the red, that means the odds are at least 70% that you see 4 inches or more worth of snow. And you can see that that includes most of the WFMJ viewing area, and then the line is kind of drawn right around Route 30. The chances of seeing at least 4 inches do go down as you go south of Route 30. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, some of the deeper moisture is going to be north of there. But two, there is a risk that for a time tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, that down in southern and southeastern Columbiana County, down towards East Liverpool, even the Guilford Lake area, you could see some sleet trying to mix in with the snow. And if that were to occur, that would tend to cut down on snowfall amounts down in that part of the viewing area. So again, kind of recapping this map, the red area, that means you've got a 70%, at least a 70% chance of seeing 4 inches or more worth of snow. The green area means the chances are down closer to between 40 and 70%. So overall, the idea is that snowfall amounts will get lower the farther south you go away from Youngstown, and especially once you're down south of I-70, down south of Zanesville and Pittsburgh, there's going to be a lot of mixing down there, and so snowfall amounts are definitely going to be lower. So that's the odds of greater than 4 inches. Well, what about the odds of greater than 8 inches of snow? Well, as you can see, we're not even included in those odds in most of the WFMJ viewing area, so 8 inches probably isn't real terribly likely across any of our counties, except maybe the extreme eastern part of Mercer County and the northeastern tip of Lawrence County. The blue areas here, a 10% chance of seeing at least 8 inches worth of snow out of this storm. The best chance for 8 inches or more is going to be across central Pennsylvania, and then especially up into upstate New York and over into southern New England. So the odds of seeing 8 inches or more, not real high at all in the Mahoning Valley. Your odds of seeing 4 inches, though, are pretty good. So that kind of jives with our ongoing forecast, which is generally kind of a 3 to 5 inch forecast with some emphasis more on the 5 than the 3 the farther north you are. So, I think our chances of getting 5 inches are a little better than getting 3 inches in Youngstown and Austintown and Boardman and Girard and up towards Warren and Niles and Mercer, Sharon, all of those places. They're kind of north of Route 30. Your odds of seeing 5 inches a little greater than seeing 3 inches. All right, so I'm going to show you a few more computer models here that kind of reinforce a little bit what we're talking about. Let me show you. This is the GFS computer model, which is an American-produced model, and the guide is over here on the right. So basically, when you see the purple, that means it's predicting 6 inches or more. The blues, any bluish hues, are between 2 and 6 inches. And we're right in through here. So again, the idea is a little less to the south, a little more to the north. 6 inches, best chance for 6 or more is probably going to be up in Mercer County, maybe northern Trumbull County as well. GFS model there. Here's the Canadian model. Similar idea. Best chance for 6 inches is going to be well off to the north of I-80. Amounts get a little lower as the blues get a little lighter down from Route 30 on south. So that's the Canadian model. Here's the European model. And again, similar idea. This is a fairly high confidence forecast. Some of these storms we don't have the highest confidence in the world because there are so many degrees of uncertainty. But this is a storm where our confidence is pretty high in our range overall, of 3 to up to 5, possibly 6. But somewhere in that 3 to 6 inch range, I think the vast majority of the viewing area is going to fall somewhere in that range. So these models that I'm showing you kind of reinforce that idea overall. So it's always nice to have a little more confidence in the overall forecast than sometimes we do. Sometimes these are real tough calls. This is probably one of the easier snowfall forecasts that we'll have throughout the course of the winter. Here's the hot off the presses latest NAM model. This is another American-produced model. This is brand new as of the last 15 minutes, and it has a pretty good bullseye from I-79 on east in Pennsylvania. But you notice you don't see a lot of purple in the WFMJ viewing area. And again, purple means 6 inches or more on these models. So, a few backyards are probably going to get 6 out of this, but not many. I'd say 90 to 95% of backyards that can see WFMJ on TV are going to be somewhere in that 3 to 5 inch range somewhere, with the worst of the weather being midday, afternoon, early evening on Saturday. And I'll bore you to death with all these models, but some of you out there are indeed weather geeks. You watch my Weather Geek video a lot, and you get a kick out of these things. Here's the short-range ensemble model. You see a lot of lines here. This is a busy-looking chart, but what you want to pay closest attention to is the dark line that is right in through here, because that's the average of all of the other lines. And it may be a little hard to see, but 6 inches is this pale line that runs straight across. And so the dark line kind of intersects with that 6 inches, and this is for southeastern Trumbull County, where the airport is, in Vienna. So this model advertises pretty close to 6 inches there when all is said and done. So, kind of going along with the idea that some places might get 6, but a lot of this will be somewhere between 3 and 5. Now, there is going to be kind of a lake effect component to this. Let me bear with me for just a second here. I'll bring up a a computer model that'll take us farther into time, we'll start talking about Saturday night and Sunday a little bit, because hey, you might be saying, okay, so I'm going to cancel my plans on Saturday because the weather's going to be pretty bad, but what can I do on Sunday? Let me show you what Sunday has in store as this loads up. Here's our main storm Saturday evening. This is at 7 p.m. on Saturday. And the darker greens mean heavier precipitation. Those darker greens and even blues are pushing away that Saturday night. And then at daybreak on Sunday, here's 7 a.m. on Sunday, you'll notice the darker colors, the heaviest precipitation is long gone at that point, and some light colors still around. And I do think there'll be some leftover flurries and snow showers at this point. But, additional accumulations on Sunday are going to be fairly light in most spots. I could see where we get another couple of inches in the traditionally lake effect prone areas. We're talking about mainly north of Interstate 80. Once you get up into Mercer County, up into Trumbull County, those are the spots you can have a few more issues during the day Sunday with more slick roads, more kind of tough travel. Mercer County, Trumbull County especially. Now, do we get another inch Sunday, even as far south as the 224 corridor? I think that's possible, yeah, but not real likely. The best part of this storm is definitely going to be during the course of Saturday evening, and then road conditions will be quite a bit better in most of the area on Sunday. All right, so I just talked for about 10 minutes straight. I'm going to kind of start over again for those who might have joined us late. Thanks for those who are tuning in, and if you didn't catch the drift, if you tuned in a little late, I'm going to kind of recap what I've been talking about. Let's back things up a little bit and show you how the radar should look as we go through time. Our storm, as we go through this evening, will be approaching from the south and west. This is 7 p.m. this evening. If you have plans this evening, no problems locally. And overnight, here's midnight. The radar starting to turn active in western Ohio and out towards Indiana. And in the middle of the night, all of this precipitation is moving in from the west. So at daybreak on Saturday, we're starting to see some light snow becoming pretty common in northeast Ohio and into western Pennsylvania as well. And by morning, by 7, 8 o'clock, some of us may have already gotten half an inch or so, maybe an inch and a half in spots, but most of us will probably have less than an inch, I think, as you get up and around first thing Saturday morning. The heftier accumulations are going to come as we get into the lunch hour and then into the afternoon. This is early afternoon. Notice how much darker the radar returns are likely to be early afternoon on Saturday, especially west of I-71, and all of this is going to keep pushing east. So your worst weather Saturday is going to be midday, afternoon, early evening, maybe 5, 6, 7, with slowly improving conditions after that. So that's how things are looking as far as the future radar is concerned. Let's talk a little bit about the odds of seeing more than, well, let's start with the odds of seeing more than 8 inches worth of snow. The odds aren't real high. This is the National Weather Service forecast, so this isn't my forecast, but I agree with what they're saying. The best chances of seeing at least 8 inches, well, that's out in central PA and then up into New England. Your odds of seeing more than 8 inches are real low, maybe as high as 10% eastern Mercer County. But the odds of seeing 4 inches or more are actually pretty good. You start seeing these red colors here, that means you've got at least a 70% chance of seeing more than 4 inches worth of snow out of this. So the odds are best from about Route 30 in Columbiana County north. Your odds start to get a little lower down in the southern half of Columbiana County because A, the deepest moisture is likely to be off to the north, and B, there may be some mixing with sleet for a time Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening down towards the East Liverpool area. And if that were to occur, that's going to cut down on snowfall amounts a little bit down there. So, kind of if we want to bottom line this overall, for those who just need kind of a quick take, a bottom line, our overall forecast of 3 to 5 inches still looks pretty good. You have a good chance of being closer to the 3 in that range down in the southern part of the viewing area down in southern Columbiana County. You've got a better chance of being closer to 5, maybe even 5.5. A few spots may pick up 6 as you are closer to Youngstown, closer to Warren, kind of in this zone right through here. Your odds of seeing 5 inches are pretty good out of this, and some backyards may even pick up as much as 6 inches out of this. So it's going to be a healthy snowstorm. It's going to be enough to shovel and plow. It's going to be enough to cause some travel disruptions. The malls are going to be packed on Saturday. We've only got 2 Saturdays left before Christmas. And a lot of people are going to be out doing some shopping, and so have some patience. use some common sense, take it nice and slow, because things are going to be a little slower than you would like, I think, out there Saturday and Saturday evening for those who are going to the mall, doing any sorts of traveling. A lot of people are heading out of town, getting ready for the Christmas holiday, and you can plan on some slowdowns. Saturday, your weather is going to be better Sunday. Not great. It's going to be windy. It's going to be cold. It's going to snow a little bit Sunday. But overall, Saturday is easily the uglier half of the weekend. All right, for more information on our snow, check out my Weather for Weather Geeks video. I did a special one this morning, and it's on my weather blog, ericwfmj.com, ericwfmj.com. Of course, if you haven't liked me yet on Facebook, put meteorologist in front of my name. You'll find me there. I'm Eric WFMJ on Twitter and on Instagram as well. And for those of you who are going to be around on the TV side at noon, Mike Joyce will have an update on your forecast then. You'll catch me tonight on 21 News at both 6 and 11 with the latest fresh information on our forecast. You'll see if we've made any changes based on the latest information. But as it stands right now, a little before 11 on this Friday, our overall range, 3 to 5 inches, perhaps up to 6 in a few spots, looks pretty good. So stay safe and get your errands out of the way today if you can, because things are going to be a little bit tough on Saturday. Thanks so much for watching, and again, we may do another one of these during the day, during the evening, that is, on Friday evening. Before I go real quick, I just want to check in with my YouTube channel here and just see if anybody did happen to ask any questions. Because I wasn't going to answer those, but it looks like nobody's chimed in. If I do another one of these this evening, in the comments section on YouTube here, feel free to ask me some questions, and I'll try to get to those and answer them the best that I can. All right, thanks again for watching. I'll see everyone a little later.